Welcome back. I'm Scott Romeo from Diverse Motion. I'm dedicated to helping you transform your life through efficient training and healthy habits. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to get strong in under 90 minutes a month. Alrighty, let's get cracking. So, the first thing we're going to be talking about is performance versus health training. Okay, so a bit of background and a bit of history from my end. I always struggled with strength training and being consistent with it. I would start, I would stop. I could never find a flow with it. I was always the one to jump on that 12-week transform your life trend. The new challenge at the gym, a whole bunch of friends getting together and, you want to be part of the group, of the community, and you join in well with them and it becomes a thing, whether it's a sport or some sort of new activity. It might even be the gym or calisthenics, and you join in, but it always ends in, for me anyway, it always ends in burnout or stiffness or injuries, And I was thinking, I want to be able to move well and be strong no matter how old I am. But if I continue on this trend, it's not going to work. I need to be consistent. I need to find a way to be consistent. This is where I started looking at the type of training I was doing. And I thought of it and I was like, I don't actually think I'm training for health. I'm following the trends, I'm joining the challenge. I'm signing up to this event. I'm signing up to this gym or whatever the thing was, the new latest and greatest workout plan, But I realized that all those types of programming and the planning of it, right? It was all based around performance based, It was all to perform at your peak, right? The athletic build, the athletic performance, really pushing the body beyond what it is supposed to be capable of. And I would say every time I did the programming or did that new gym program or event, whatever it may be, I got some pretty good results. I got really strong. I'm not to say that they didn't work. They definitely worked. I put on muscle, I put on strength. I was able to beat my previous records. It worked. The problem I'm trying to say is that I could never maintain it for a full year even, I think the longest time I trained consistently with strength was probably 4 months. And I was really happy with that, because you train for 4 months and by the end of the year, your body is starting to turn back, right? You're starting to lose all those muscles and that strength, but it takes a while. It takes about a year, and not a year, 8 months, right? I trained for 4 months and then 8 months later, you'd start to see the decline. And then you'd start again, the following year, the New Year's resolution or whenever that event or activity or community or friend comes along and is just like, hey, join in, let's go. Let's make this a thing. Look at this person. Look how big they're getting. Look how strong they're getting. Look what they're able to achieve and all these different kinds of things, right? And it was just a vicious cycle, And to me, when I got to the 3 or 4 month period, I don't know, I guess I was a bit over it, and for good reason. I was training from a performance-based perspective. I was training like an athlete. I was training to push my body beyond. So it's no surprise, right? That once I got to the 4 month mark, I didn't really want to continue training because my body was quite exhausted. I needed a rest, even though I was having regular rests, every 2 days, every 3 days, whatever it was, throughout that program, throughout those 3 to 4 months. I was having rest days. But after it finished, after the event, the goal that I was trying to get to, whatever it was, I was just over it. My body was just a bit tired. It was just a bit mentally fatiguing, I guess. And the other element was that I remember just always feeling stiff. I never felt loose, I never felt nimble or young. I was getting strong. Don't get me wrong, I was definitely getting strong, and I was putting on the size, and it was really cool because I was able to push more, lift more than I could before. And that from a mental perspective is beautiful. It's lovely to reach those feats, right? But I remember feeling quite stiff, and I stretched here and there, but I could definitely tell that my body was becoming less lubricated or less springy or flowy, let's say. That youthful feeling, I was losing it. I was just getting more robotic. So that's when I started looking at health-focused training. Well, and moving away from performance training, because I feel like that's what a lot of people sort of tend to do. And you look on social media and you look at all the program plans that are out there, they kind of are all towards performance-based. It's all push this to your max, over and over and over again. It's you need to do better than your previous workout every single time. The progressive overload. It was always making sure that you were completely fatigued every single workout that you did, and you knew that you were completely fatigued because you couldn't back it up on the following day because you are actually too tired. And that was the proof that you are pushing your body beyond its limits. And that's what made me think, like, what kind of training is this that I actually need to take a rest day? Why can't I train every day? Shouldn't that be the better program, the program that I would be able to do every day? And all these different questions made me think about, what am I doing? Why am I feeling stiff? And why am I reaching some sort of, physical burnout and needing a rest every, 3 to 4 months? And I'm not really continuing it to the following year or sometimes 2 years later, getting back onto that strength training journey. So this is where health-focused training and the research into, what does it look like to train for health? Well, in order to train for health, you need to train in a way that you can become consistent with it, okay? You need a way to continue doing the program no matter what is going on in your life, right? To me, that's what health-focused training is. You can't just squeeze it all into 3 months because that's not really your life, right? Your life is ongoing. There's not any particular time that you need to do it for. You just need to do it ongoing. So how could I get to that point? What would I need to do in order to train for a year or train for 2 years straight? Or, and I started there. I was like, well, what do I need to do to train for 1 year? If I could make it to a whole year, maybe there's a chance I could get to 2 and 3 and 4 years. So I thought, well, do I actually need to train like an athlete? Do I need this performance? Because I was pushing a lot of weight and things like that, but I actually didn't feel all that great inside. As I was saying, the flow, the nimbleness, the springiness, the youthfulness was starting to go away. I needed time to do the other things like stretch and cardio and, my sports and activities and all these other things. I couldn't be wasting all my time or using up all my good energy, all my available time in the gym. And that's what I was doing, 3-4 days a week. It was in the gym. And once I trained a little bit and became a bit proficient after 1 or 2 months, I was able to get to the 5 days, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And it was okay. I was able to maintain it. So then I thought, well, what if I just did less days, right? But you're still giving up all that energy. You're still training like an athlete and all this kind of stuff, right? You're still trying to break these world records or push the body beyond its means every time you work out, even if you're training less frequent. So then I thought, well, what if I just trained a little bit? Like, what if it was, a half of a workout or a third of a workout? What would that look like? And maybe I could do it every day, or for instance. But then I thought every day, that could be difficult, that could be difficult. How am I supposed to, get to the gym every day and, work out and all this kind of stuff? So I sort of put the two together. So I said less frequent and a shorter workout. And I came up with, which is my second part of this video, the 10-minute program. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, 10 minutes, Scotty, you're probably going to need longer than that to train in the gym. How are you training at the gym or anywhere? And this is not just gym work, this is anywhere. This is out in the park, this is at home. It doesn't matter where you are, it's 10 minutes. I came up with this 10-minute program. And essentially, the reason behind it was short, and because it was only 10 minutes, I was able to become consistent with it. And in 10 minutes, you can't use up all your energy. It's very difficult to be completely physically fatigued in 10 minutes, right? So it's almost like you're just waking up the body. You're giving the muscle that stimulation and then you leave. You're not constantly giving the stimulation until you reach a certain fatigue level. So after I finish my gym workouts now, or my strength training workouts, let's say, because remember, it's not just at the gym, I'm actually able to continue on with my life. I'm actually able to go do all the different things, and I don't feel any less, I don't feel like I've used up any of my physical energy. And I thought, this is great. This is awesome. I'm not getting fatigued. It's short. It's also less frequent. That took me a little while to figure out, did it need to be once a week? Did it need to be every 2 days? And I've landed on every 4 days. Every 4 days seemed to work. It seemed to basically, I was able to maintain my strength, if not gain a little bit of strength. I wasn't losing strength. I wasn't losing size. And it was every 4 days. So every 4 days, a 10-minute workout of strength training, okay? And as you can see from the title of this video, it's, how to get strong in 90 minutes a month. Well, if you're training every 4 days, that means 7 sessions on average per month. 7 times 10 minutes is 70 minutes. So yeah, it's under 90 minutes a month. That's how much I'm training now. And I've been training this way for 3 years. 3 years I've been training non-stop, haven't taken a rest day, I've continually trained every 4 days now for 3 months. 3 years, sorry. And this is huge. This is such a huge improvement. And the best part is, I'm not losing that muscle now. I'm not, I'm not having to catch back up after, dropping off the wagon for 3 to 6 months or even, 9 months to a year. I'm consistently training now. And to be honest, I don't think I really need to take time off from this ever. It's easy. It's so easy that I think I could do this for the rest of my life, no matter how old I am. So it's really cool. It's been a game changer for me, and now my clients have started it too, and they're now having their progresses, and And it's great. It's simple, it's sweet, it's efficient. You know, that's what we're here for, right? It's efficient. And I'm all about that, right? I'm all about trying to make my life really efficient. I'm always looking at the quickest way to do gardening, the quickest way to unload and load the dishwasher, all the different things. I'm always looking at the most efficient way. And who would have thought, you know, eventually I was going to take that efficient mindset and bring it to my physical training. So this is what I came up with, the 10-minute program. Now, what does the 10-minute program consist of, right? Because you're thinking, what can you possibly do in 10 minutes? So what I did was I broke the plan into 7 different body parts, okay? Every workout, I would do one body part. And I would do 1 or 2 exercises depending, right? And I would change those exercises. So that was the other best part. I was never getting bored off the exercises because I was only doing 1 or 2 exercises every 4 days. I was able to have a huge amount of variety. And even doing it two times in a row, it didn't feel like I was, getting over it. I was, needing a change because I had the 7 workouts. And so basically broke it down into legs, into glutes, into abdominals, arms, shoulders, traps, and back, I think. That's 5, maybe 8, and chest. Chest is also there as well. All right, so what is that? So legs, glutes, arms, shoulders, traps, abs, back, and chest. So it's 8. So 8 different programs, 8 different workouts. And roughly you're fitting that in a month, right? So every month you're covering the whole body. Okay? So that's the plan. Now, what is actually happening in the individual 10-minute program? So what I did was I took the big compound movements in that particular muscle group, and I looked up, the best ways, the most efficient ways, the top exercises for this particular body part, and I just started rotating through them. Right. So in the actual 10-minute program, I would warm up for approximately 3 minutes. I'd actually do my mobility program, which will be in a different video. And then I would do 3 minutes roughly of a specific warm up to the exercise that I'm going to do. So say I'm going to be doing legs and I've chosen to do squats on that particular day. So I'll do 3 minutes of warm up general, 3 minutes of squat warm up. So I'd start with body weight squats. Then I'd start with 10 kilos, then 20 kilos and so on. Just do a couple of reps, of each one. And because you're warming up, you don't need to take rest. You just put the weight on, do the reps, put more weight on, do the reps, and so on and so forth. Then for the last 4 minutes, I would find the weight that I could do for at least a minimum of 5 to 6 reps, okay? And you can do this with any exercise, really, If you're a beginner, I would probably start with body weight exercises or the pin-loaded exercises at the gym. So that's all the machine weights. If you're new to the gym, I would probably go to free weights. You can do it with any exercise, but free weights, you're going to have a few more benefits, like your proprioception, you're going to have balance, you're going to have stability muscles switching on as well. So if you can do free weights, do free weights. Okay, so I do the squat in the Smith machine. So I put the weight on, and this is the last 4 minutes now, right? So 3 minutes of general warm up, 3 minutes of specific squat warm up, and the last 4 minutes roughly, sometimes it goes into 11 minutes or 12 minutes, I would spend trying to fatigue myself in this time. Now, which leads me to another part, right? When people work out in the gym, they're constantly looking at how many reps and how much weight they're doing. I'm telling you to forget about this. I was so fixated on, oh my gosh, I'm doing 80 kilos this week, 120 kilos this week, and look how much progress I've made, and I'm doing 8 reps and 10 reps, and how many reps did you do of this? Yeah, I can do 140, and so on and so forth. It's all so rep and weight based, okay? What I'm telling you is don't worry about that. Your main focus should be to fatigue the muscles, okay? So your muscles don't know what weight you're using. It just knows that all it knows is, can we consistently move in this direction until we hit fatigue, okay? And the body is just, that's all it's focusing on. It's not going, oh, we got 80 kilos today, we got to lift that, so we need to recruit these muscles. No, your body will recruit all the muscles always. It just depends on how you create the intensity. Okay, so weight is out. Repetitions is out. We're not going to be thinking about that, okay? I did say a minimum of 5 to 6 reps, right? So anything after that, you're good to go. Unless you're doing like 20, 25 reps. You probably don't want that many, right? But there shouldn't be such a focus on the reps is what I'm saying. Everyone's like, oh, I've got to get 8 reps, Just, after 5, it doesn't matter too much, and don't go into the crazy reps like 20, 25 and all this kind of stuff, right? So if reps are out the window, weight's out the window, then what are we using? What we're going to use is the 3 phases of movement, okay? And these are concentric, isometric, and eccentric, okay? We are strongest in eccentric. So eccentric is when you're lowering yourself. So you've got the weight on your back and you're lowering yourself. Say you don't even have your weight, you're just doing body weight. The lowering part, you are strongest in, okay? Then you've got the isometric part, which you're second strongest in. Isometric means you lower yourself and then you hold that position. That is isometric. You're second strongest in that form. Concentric is when you're at the bottom and you go up, which is what most people focus on, okay? So we're actually going to, and in concentric, you're the least strongest, right? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use all 3, okay? So I'm going to lower myself down and I'm gonna take as long as I can. I'm gonna take 10, 15, 20 seconds to get down. Once I get down to my lowest safe position, I'm gonna hold that position for a long time, not too long time, because I wanna still be able to get back up, but I'm gonna hold it there for maybe 5, maybe even 10 seconds. And then I'm gonna stand up within 1 to 2 seconds. I'm not gonna take too much time coming back up. I'm just going to, stand back up, okay? And that's the concentric phase. And then I'm gonna do it again, okay? And what you're gonna notice is at some point, you're actually not gonna be able to stand back up because you've fatigued yourself using the eccentric and the isometric, the lowering and the holding part of the movement, okay? You're going to fatigue yourself so much that you can't actually stand up anymore. So what you need to do is you need to either have a spotter, okay? Or you can use a Smith machine like I'm using, or you can have weights in your hands. So you can lower yourself, hold at the bottom, and then drop the weight, or rack the barbell, or give it to your spotter, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to stand back up, grab the weights, move the barbell back up to the top and start again, because the concentric phase, as I said at the start, is your weakest in, okay? That's going to go first. That phase, you're not going to be able to do it first. It's going to cut off, okay? Then at some point, your isometric phase you're not going to be able to do it anymore. You're going to lower yourself down and then you're going to try and hold it, and you're not going to be able to hold it any longer. You're going to need to just lower yourself and rack it straight away, or lower yourself and drop the weights straight away. If you're doing body weight squats, you can have some sort of bar in front of you so you can actually use your hands to pull yourself up. There's lots of different ways that you can make the stand-up part easy if you can't drop the weights, if you're doing body weight, for example. So now we can't stand up, right? So we can't do the concentric. We can't hold at the bottom anymore. Isometric's out. Now we've only got eccentric. And that will eventually fatigue as well at some point. So you're going to just lower yourself down, and you're going to notice that you can't actually control the lowering anymore. You basically just go straight down, okay? And this is where you now have come to the end of your set, okay? That's another thing that I want you to forget. Sets. Don't worry about sets, okay? So sets, reps, and weight, don't worry about it. We're going to be doing just one set. And you're probably thinking this is ludicrous, but a lot of people have been using one set. Bodybuilders use one set training. It is a common practice, okay? So now their centric phase, you can't do anymore, okay? And now you're finished. So this normally takes me between 3 and 6 minutes to reach, to fatigue the concentric phase, the isometric phase, and the eccentric phase. You'll be surprised at how quick you fatigue, okay? And that's the end of the workout. You're done. You're finished. Your muscles are sufficiently stimulated and fatigued that you will at the very least, maintain your strength. Depending on how hard you push, you might even gain strength, okay? Now, there is another way to do this if you aren't so confident in the gym, you aren't so confident with weight training. You can do a drop set. It's pretty much the same thing, but what you're doing instead of using just the one weight and putting a real focus on the concentric phase and the isometric phase and the eccentric phase, what you can do is you can say we're fresh again, okay? So we're starting the squat from scratch again. And say, for argument's sake, you've got 60 kilos on the bar, okay? So we're gonna slowly lower ourselves, the eccentric phase. We're gonna hold at the bottom, the isometric phase, and then we're gonna stand up and the concentric phase, okay? At some point, you're going to fatigue one of these phases, most likely the concentric phase, right? Say you always want to stand up, okay? You don't want to go down and have a spotter or rack the barbell or drop the weights or whatever and all this kind of stuff. What you can do is, as soon as you're like, I definitely can't do one more rep of this, change the weight, okay? So maybe you do 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 reps, going all the way down nice and slow, holding at the bottom and then coming up. Maybe you do 2 or 3 reps and you're like, you know what? I can't do any more reps like this. Then change the weight, go down to 40 kilos, keep going, right? Do another 1, maybe 2 reps, change the weight again, go down to 20 kilos, which is just the bar, and do it again. 2 drops off weight is pretty good, maybe 2 or 3 drops. You don't want to be doing like 10 drops, like 100 kilos, 90 kilos, 80 kilos, 70 kilos, all the way down. Do 2 to 3 drops. And this will give you a similar result compared to what I described earlier with just the one set, the same weight, okay? And it's probably gonna take the same amount of time as well, 3 to 6 minutes. Now, this is the workout. This is the 10-minute workout, right? So moving now on to the third part of this video, which is consistency, which in my opinion is the most important part of this. And if you're trying to figure out what is the best workout for you? What is the best program? There are a lot of plans out there in the world, social media, through all different types of personal trainers, and they can give you great results, right? Who cares about results if you can't maintain it? In my opinion, I want to be able to maintain something. I want to be able to do it ongoing for the rest of my life. I want it because these are my personal goals. This is what I want to do. People that aren't interested in breaking world records and pushing their body beyond its means, they just want to maintain what they have, keep in shape. Okay, in order to do that, you need consistency. You ain't gonna go nowhere if you don't have consistency. I don't care if you've got these grand programs out there that, if you list for this many seconds and all this kind of stuff, if you do this superset or whatever the thing is, if you can't maintain it, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's no good. Okay? So what is good about this program is that it's only 10 minutes and you're only doing it every 4 days, So you're not even, that's if on your first week, right? So that's day 1 and then day 5, you're already on to the second week. You're barely doing, I think it's roughly 7 to 8 workouts in the month, right? So that's roughly just more than 1 per week of strength training. It makes it so much easier to become consistent. And in my opinion, this is how you're going to maintain what you have, maintain your youthfulness, maintain your springiness, your flowiness, which is another really good point. Because you're only training for 10 minutes, you have 3 days off. In that time, you're able to fully recoup your muscles, fully recover them. So, a lot of people are training every 2 days or every 3 days, even sometimes every day, and they're not actually fully recovering their muscles. And that's where that tightness comes from. That's where that feeling of always feeling tight comes from. If you've got so many days of recovery, your body's actually able to fully repair all the damage and bring yourself back to full movement, essentially. And it's really good because, as I was saying, it doesn't matter if you've got a really good program. You need to maintain it, and training for every 4 days. You get 3 days rest. 3 days rest for the rest of your life. Remember, this is ongoing. 3 days rest. There's no more. You don't need to make it any less. Every 4 days, 10 minutes. That's it. And mentally, what this is going to start doing is you're going to start having a positive relationship with strength training because you're not doing it all the time. It's not taking up a lot of your mental energy, It's going to, you're going to have a lot of, and it's going to add to, not burning out, and not having that mental fatigue. You're going to get to 3 to 4 months and you're going to feel like, I don't feel like I'm at the end of the end of a journey or end of a holiday, or I haven't hit the event and need a break from it. It just chips away, and because you're just slowly chipping away, you're able to maintain it. You're able to have the consistency, and in my opinion, and what has worked really well with my clients is instead of having a goal to, look a certain way or to, lift a certain weight, what if the goal was to be consistent for 3 months or 6 months or a year? What if we changed it? What if we changed the mentality around it? What if we made it so, you could put all your motivation into consistency. And remember, it's so easy to be consistent with the program because you're barely even at the gym, right? And yeah, so I've been doing this now for 3 years. I've given it to my clients for the last 2 years, and some really good results. A lot of people, they always tell me, I'm just so unmotivated today. I'm just so tired today. I'm going to skip it, You are going to increase the chances of not skipping if you're tired, if you don't have time, all these different things. If you know it's only a 10-minute program that you have to get through. And say you don't bring yourself to the full fatigue, right? Which is what we explained just before in the 10-minute program. Doesn't matter, because maybe on that particular day, maybe you don't have the energy, maybe it really was a hard day. Still do the 10 minutes. If it's every fourth day, still do the 10 minutes. Just get there, do the things, and maybe you don't bring yourself to the full fatigue, okay? What this is going to do is it's going to maintain your momentum, okay? Don't stop it. Don't stop every 4 days. Do an easy session if you need to, okay? Just don't do zero, do something, okay? I always say that, don't do nothing, do something. If you've got more in the tank and you want to bring yourself to fatigue, all right, do more, okay? But just do something, okay? And don't do more than 10 minutes. Now, when you first start doing this program, you might have a bit of like timing issues because it's quite quick, right? You're moving from the general warm-up to the specific warm-up to your working set, and it's quite quick. So maybe you might lose some time and you just need to figure out the organization of it all, and that might take you a few weeks, So it might go into like 15 minutes, 16 minutes when you first start training. But once you get efficient with it and you know what you're doing before you get there, you get it done, and it's like 10, 11 minutes, So so because you don't want to increase the time, okay? So a lot of people ask me, it's just like, all right, I feel really good today, Scott. Can I do more? Right? That's what a lot of people ask me. They're just like, all right, cool. I've got some consistency now. I get it. The shorter workouts, you're creating the positive feedback loop to the mind. I get it. I'm able to get to the gym now a bit more consistently. Should I increase the time? Well, in my opinion, you can if you want, right? As long as it's not at the deterrent that one day you will stop, okay? So maybe add 5 minutes, maybe add 10 minutes, okay? But if one day you have to stop and do zero, then you did too much, okay? I am much more interested in maintaining what I have, okay? And I want it to be as efficient as possible. And I want to create that healthy habit around my training, my strength training. So I have kept it at 10 minutes. Sometimes, as I said, you might even do a second exercise, for example, and it might go into like 13, 14 minutes, for example. It's an extra few minutes. It's not gonna make much difference, right? I just stay within that. I don't go any more beyond 10 to 15 minutes. And the reason I do that is because I want to consistently have that positive feedback loop, okay? And I get it. I get why you might want to increase it. You're doing well, you've got extra energy, I've got time, I've got the motivation, I've got the willpower to do a longer workout. Yeah, but maybe that's the reason why you do. Does that make sense? So because you've been consistent, because you don't have the soreness, because you're not getting mentally burnt out, you feel like you want to do more all the time. But that might be the result of because you're only doing a 10-minute program. Does that make sense? So I think if you move to the 20-minute or the 30-minute program, all these issues will come back. You will get the burnout. You will get the tightness, you know, and even if you increase the frequency per week, you know, that's another thing that people ask me about. You know, what if I do it every 3 days? You can, as I said, you can. It's not written in stone. These are just, you know, these are tips. This is based on my experience and my client's experience, and I'm now sharing it with you. I'm just saying 10 minutes every 4 days works for me. It's worked for me, and I've tried to train for, it's coming up to like 15 years now, 16 years. I've been trying to be consistent and I've failed. And I know a lot of people have failed. I know a lot of people really struggle with being consistent with their strength training. Try this. See how you go. See how it feels. Okay? This works. I'm telling you, this will change how you look at it. Okay? And I think when you're at the gym, you've gotten 10 minutes in or 15 minutes in, right? You've done your workout according to what I've said, and you want to do more. I think that is the perfect time to leave the gym or stop the workout if you're in a park or at home. I think that is the perfect time, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to create a very positive loop to your mind. Okay? That's what is so important, because you might get through a hard workout on that particular day, right? And go to 30 minutes. That's not the issue. The issue is getting back, starting day 2 or day 4 in this instance. That's what's more important. Who cares if on any particular day you can go hard, you can do more. Don't be concerned about that. Your focus and where you should be concerned at is, can I continue this? Remember, the most important thing is consistency. It doesn't matter if you've got the stellar world-class program. If you can't maintain it, if you can't be consistent, you're going to stop strength training. You're going to have all the detrimental health defects from not doing strength training. You're going to lose strength. You're going to lose the shape of your body, because the muscles are not going to be there anymore. And you're obviously going to use consistency, and that's going to lead to more of a sedentary lifestyle. Okay? Consistency. That's it. If you get to the gym, you're 10, 15 minutes in, you feel like you want to do more, leave. Okay? You're going to walk out of that gym, you're going to be walking back to your car, or you're going to walk into the shower if you're working out at home, or you're at the park, wherever, and you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, I want to do more. I want to do more. Perfect. Excellent. This is great, because when that 4th day comes along, you're going to be so pumped, and your consistency is going to go through the roof, because you constantly feel like you want to do more. Okay, this is perfect. And the 10-minute every 4 days works right into this. Okay. So summing up in this video, we talked about the performance versus health, right? Most of us don't really need to train for performance. Okay. We just want to look good. We want to feel good. And we want to, be strong, right? So if you just want those things, then train from a more health-focused perspective. Have consistency, okay? Then we talked about the 10-minute program, right? So it's just 10 minutes. Every 4 days, we have the general warm-up, the specific warm-up, and then the working set using the concentric, the isometric, and the eccentric phases. Or you do a drop set. Do it till failure, change the weight, make it smaller, make it less, do it again, and then drop set again. Okay? The 10 minutes by 4. Okay? So a 10 to 15 minute workout roughly every 4 days, which will equal to under 90 minutes per month, right? The last thing we talked about was consistency, and how that is the most important thing for health, for looking good, for taking care of yourself, for having the strength ongoing for life. Don't be training for the age of 30. Don't be training for the age of 40. Train for life. Make this a lifestyle for you. The 10 minutes by 4 is going to get you there. You're going to, in your jobs, in your workouts, and how you're going to become consistent is you're going to create that mental positive feedback loop, right? You're going to get to the end of your sessions, you're going to want to do more because it's only 10 minutes. Most of you have never done probably a 10-minute workout. It's always been longer than that. This is your chance to do something so simple and easy. So easy that you can increase your consistency, not have those breaks, and maintain a strong, good-looking body. Okay, which is what we all want. It's what I want, definitely. It's what my clients want. And now it's what you want. And now it's what you can have, I should say. So thanks for joining us. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about mobility and how to include mobility into your life, and also cardio, and how you can include a cardio into your life. These are different kinds of plans and different consistency and habits and positive feedback loops. So stay tuned for those videos, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye for now. See ya.